Okay. Now we we live in a wireless world because I believe that if you cannot see, you don't fear. But if the moment that you can see these kind of signals pulsing through your homes, your bedrooms, your bodies, and they are silent, they are constant, and they're invisible. Because I believe that if you can see a lot of these signals, you probably wouldn't stay where you're staying right now, which is maybe in the city, maybe in in the a busy city that has a lot of frequencies. You probably want to stay somewhere very, very far away. But the thing is, why are we still staying where we're at? Is because we can't see it. All right. So this is something that we have to be aware of because it is invisible. When something is invisible, we have to really dig deep and become aware of these things because life has become much more connected with our Wi-Fi, 5G smart devices in our home, offices, everywhere. And as technology advances and becomes more convenient, more giving us more leisure, giving us more creating more income using technology, but we have to ask ourselves at what cost, right? Is it at the cost of our health? And if you do not move forward in our modern life with protection, all right, it's only going to impact our health in a negative way, all right? Because most of us are going through lives in environments without any protection. I give people a simple example. It is like using a laptop or a computer without an antivirus software. You wouldn't want to do that because you know your computer is going to get affected by virus. So in a way, we need to look at emGuard that way, right? And it's not just your phone, it's the environment around you because we are living inside the exposure. It's not just your phone, it's all kinds of stuff, okay? Electric vehicles, okay? Smart meters, televisions, LED lights. Check it out. Check out about LED lights versus filament bulbs. LED lights emits much more radiation than the old filament bulbs, and it's in every single home, every single office, right? So it's our environment. And even when we rest, now our body may go to rest at night. We go to sleep, we want to rest our body, but your Apple, your watch, your AirPods, your Wi-Fi router, your phone, all these things, your air conditioning, all these things are still alive. And they form what we call electromagnetic pollution. Now, doctors and scientists, they have a shorter way to actually describe electromagnetic pollution, and it is called electrosmog. And what electrosmog means is basically like describing a type of pollution, a smog, but you can't see the smog, all right? And it never sleeps. And today, health experts are becoming more and more concerned, than ever before. The world is filled with electrosmog. And the question we have to ask ourselves, let me ask everybody here a question. Are our children safe? Ask ourselves these questions. Who here, you have young kids at home and they are with their technologies all day, every day? Type 1 in the chat box. They're on the iPad or maybe they're watching TV, phone, watching cartoons, music, games, stuff like that. All right. And I can see a lot of people is typing 1. And my following question is that is this concerning to you as a parent? If it is, type 2 in the chat box. If it is, type 2 in the chat box. Yeah, right. Some people may not be concerned because they feel that it's okay. Since everybody is doing it, it should be fine, right? And that is a misconception. Since everybody is drinking bad water, should we drink bad water? No, because all of us here on this Zoom today, we are the enlightened ones. We know that in order to achieve wellness and health, we have to choose otherwise than the masses. And that's what makes enagic special and different, because our products are there to impact lives of its users. So we have to do something different, especially for pregnant women, people with young kids at home. Because I want you guys to take a look at this. Since the year 2000, which is 26 years ago, okay, autism prevalence have increased 317%. So you're talking about 3x, 3 times, more than 3 times increase of autism. All right. Is this 100% because of electromagnetic radiation? Probably not. But just look at what has changed the most in the last 20, 30 years. What has changed the most? I'm sure our food has changed for the worse. I'm sure our water has also changed for the worse, except for us who have the Kangen machine at home. I'm sure our air has also changed for the worse. But the biggest change over the last 26 years has been technology. That's the biggest change. All right. Somebody said they can't hear anything. Turn up your volume. I think the rest of us can hear me just fine. Or you maybe log out and log back in if you can't hear. Okay. So guys, if there's anything that you can't hear or can't see the slide, please let me know in the chat box. Okay. So autism. What about this? We have shown these slides, this particular slide over the last 3 years, where the World Health Organization already classified radio frequency electromagnetic field as possibly carcinogenic to humans, based on an increased risk for glioma, a malignant type of brain cancer associated with wireless phone use. All right. And many other studies. Take a look at the left one. Man-made electromagnetic fields and oxidative stress. Now, I want to ask everybody a question. Why do you drink Kangen water? What is the main reason you're drinking the Kangen water? Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. What is the main reason? Give me more specific, Romel, not just health. Specific. All right. Some people say taste. Okay, I like that. The Kangen water does taste nicer. All right. But it is for the antioxidant, right? Because Kangen water is high in antioxidation. Okay. So thank you. Of course, the true properties, but we know the most powerful property is the antioxidant. I want you to take a look at the left publication. It says man-made electromagnetic fields can increase oxidative stress. So you could be drinking Kangen water, increasing antioxidant, but then your phone is increasing oxidation. So we have to balance it out. So we have to protect our bodies from all fronts, from the internal and also from the external. Look at the middle study. It talked about electromagnetic radiation emitted by monitors, all right, makes changes to the protective antioxidant effect of vitamin A in the body. How about the one on the right from PubMed? They talk about effects of electromagnetic fields exposure on the antioxidant defense system. And we know how important that is to us, right? And electromagnetic fields actually has a role to play in destroying that, which is bad news, all right? But the thing is, we can't stop technology. We can only protect ourselves from the radiation. And take a look at this, radiation and male fertility. Now, those of you who have not have kids yet, like me, I don't have a kid yet. This is big news for people like us because we know. Let me ask the gentleman in the room: where do you put your mobile phone when you go out? Where do you put it on your body? Type the answer in the chat box. Where do you put it? Right? Do you put it in your front pocket? Do you put it in your back pocket? Or do you put it in your front pocket in your pants? Most of us, we will put it in the front pocket in our pants. And let me tell you this, that is bad news, right? Those of you who put it in your back pocket, that's way better. But we need to distance ourselves from these devices as much as possible because it actually affects the fertility level of the males. And this is big news. All right. 2019, there's an EMF health survey that already did a survey to identify health problems related to EMF exposure. And that includes sleeping problems, fatigue, concentration, memory learning problems, stress and anxiety, and also headaches. And in 2023, September, France already halted the sales of iPhone 12 because it was emitting too much electromagnetic radiation. So this is global news, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I believe this product is so important. All right. Now we're going to be using the word electro smoke a lot. And one of the pioneers of studies and research into how electromagnetic radiation affects the human body is actually pioneered and studied extensively by a very popular doctor from Canada named Dr. Magda Havas. All right. And she is the one that coined the term electro smoke. And because she wanted to find out how can radiation from our devices affect our biological changes. And she found out that if you spend 70 minutes on the computer or 10 minutes on the mobile phone, your red blood cells, they start to aggregate. What does aggregate mean? Clumping together, and in French, they call it the rouleau formation. And it increased stacking appearance following short-term exposure to common wireless devices. Example, smartphones, desktops, and etc. And her work raises the question, if red blood cell interaction patterns change under certain environmental conditions, what are the psychological implications as well? All right. And why this matters in today's environment? Because we're exposed 24/7, and we know that it leads to the stacking and clumping called the rouleau formation in our red blood cells. And what could be the possible consequences? Poor circulation, lower oxygen transport, reduced waste removal, headache, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, numbness, tingling, or in extreme cases, even cold extremities. Right? So the question we have to ask ourselves is this: if electrosmog is able to cause rouleau formation in just 10 to 20 minutes, what does it mean in a 24/7 wireless world? I want you guys to ask yourself that question. All right? And that's going to be a key question we have to ask our customers for us to be able to expose this technology to them. Because let me tell you this, most people out there in the market, they don't know how dangerous electrosmog is. So how can you show them how dangerous the electrosmog is? By using the all-new detector called the emD100 electrosmog detector. Okay, so this is already available for sale in the emGuardeGo Malaysia office. I think a lot of distributors have already bought it, even as early as the last emGuard summit that we had a couple months ago. And it is also available in the store. For the other countries, emGuardeGo will be bringing the detector into your respective branches in the months ahead to come. Okay, now let me explain what this is. And I think David later on, our emGuard product specialist, is going to come in and do a more thorough and detailed explanation about how the detector works. But essentially, it is using a AEI, ambient electrosmog index. So what is ambient? Ambient is your environment. All right, what is around you? And we know what electrosmog is, an index. So this is a proprietary formula designed to detect weighted RF noise plus harmonic disturbances and field variability within 3 to 1000 megahertz. And it forms something called the AEI levels. Now, I want you guys to think about the AEI very similar to what in Malaysia, we have something called the API. Malaysians, you would know this. When you read the Star Online, the newspaper, our government, the moment when there's haze, there's bad weather or bad pollution, air pollution, they use the API, which stands for Air Pollution Index, right? So it is all an index to give a simplified numbering system to the population to understand whether this place has good air or bad air. Okay, so the AEI follows a very similar concept, but in this is not air pollution, it is electrosmog, which is electromagnetic pollution. If you guys are following so far so good, type 1 in the chat box. And I think this is quite easy to understand. All right, because prior to this, we were using all kinds of different scientific terms, and I think a lot of people couldn't really grasp because not everybody is so scientific or technical, right? So this new AI skill, I really like it because it has made the explanation to be way easier. And in business, we want to be easy. In terms of facing the customers, we want to be easy and simplified. And in terms of emGuardeGo business, to duplicate, you need to be easy. So the AI scale starts from 1. All right, 1 to 25 is considered the green zone, which is low electrosmog interpretation. From 26 to 50 is moderate. 51 to 75 is high. And from 76 to 100 is the red zone, which is very high. Okay, so this is how it's actually going in emGuardeGo Malaysia. Okay, and it is sold in ringgit, of course, at 980 ringgit. Globally, it will be sold at US $250. So far, so good. Okay, so for you guys to really do a lot of sales, you need this detector because this is your tool for you guys to go out there and to show your customers the AEI levels in their environment and for them to actually look at the emGuard technology. So how do we protect ourselves? So the question is always this: I've been talking the last 15-20 minutes about how radiation can affect the body, right? And potentially create some health risks for us. All right. But the thing is, it's not realistic to live without technology. All right. If I ask you guys to not have your phone for 1 week, who can live without their phones for 1 week? Type 1 in the chat box. I'd like to see. Who cannot live without their phones for 1 week? Type 2. If you can live without your phones for 1 week, type 1. If you cannot live without your phone for 1 week, type 2. And I can guarantee you, we're going to have more 2s than 1s. Because the phones, 1 hour, somebody say, is like it was a 1 hour maximum. And that 1 hour is maybe when you're taking a nap. Okay? So it's going to be more 2s than 1s. Why? Because this is becoming an extension of our body. In fact, it should be listed as one of our organs, right? You can't remove this. You know, it's like one thing in our lives. So we cannot disconnect. Okay? So what we can do, use the emGuard by emGuardeGo. So I'm going to show you guys a video. Let me know if the audio is good in the chat box. I'm going to show you guys a video of what we have played in the Okinawa convention, and this is the official launch video for the emGuard. And this marks a brand new start of a new technology in the enagic universe. So, ladies and gentlemen, right, sit back and enjoy this launch video.
In a world shaped by constant electromagnetic exposure, activated with a single touch, a new standard of personal protection is emerging, designed to stay with you day after day, engineered for reliable everyday use, and designed to meet global standards. Comfortable to carry, easy to live with. emGuard, protection you can rely on.
All right, so if you're excited for the new emGuard, give me a number 1 in the chat box, because I am excited. For those of you who know my story, before the first gen emGuard was launched, I was a 6A2, right? Still doing really well, I would say. And the moment the emGuard first gen was launched in 2023, it took me about less than 12 months, 11 months to be exact, to go from a 6A2 to become a 6A2-4. And that has been a crazy, crazy journey that has been very, very rewarding. And I have to give credit to enagic for launching this new technology, because it just gave my entire team a big boost with a new product like this. And I believe with this new emGuard personal protector is going to take my business to the next level. And I'm here to share with you guys today what has happened you on the same boat. And that boat is called the enagic boat. And if the enagic boat is sailing this way, we all better get on the boat, because we know enagic is, and we need to be part of it. All right. Now, the enagic emGuard, your close body personal protection device, designed for continuous body protection in a high electrosmoke polluted environment. So number 1, of course, because it's portable, we get 24/7 protection everywhere we go. Studied, backed by clinical research. I'm going to show you guys something really exciting later on. 3 meter strong coverage field, and we've just obtained, the emGuard technology has just obtained its US patent as well as global patent with the harmonic technology, and 72 hours lithium battery certified. So on a full charge, David's going to go more into the details. You can use the emGuard for about 72 hours, so even more. And then after, you just charge it just like any other battery operated device, like a smartphone. Okay, so now you do not need to put it at a certain area. and you can actually carry it everywhere you go. All right. So how does the emGuard works? Now, I've been using the old Gen emGuard for, of course, about close to 3 years now. And the old Gen emGuard, to my knowledge, it is designed to be a stationary product. Means it is not designed for people to carry it around, although I know a lot of people do that. Because once you know, or when you're enlightened about electromagnetic radiation, a lot of energy distributors, what they do is they take the emGuard, they plug it to a power bank, and they put it into their handbags, especially our ladies distributors, right? And can be quite big, can be quite troublesome, right? And it's not only about the size and being not so convenient. It is also the way the harmonic antenna and technology works, because the first model is designed to actually cover a static space. It means it shouldn't be moved. All right, because when it's moved, the coverage area actually is not as stable as the new one. Now, what makes this special? Because this being a brand new portable unit that people are going to use it everywhere you go, put it into their bag, put it into their pocket, go to different environment, go into their car, go into some office environment, whatever it is actually using a all new looping antenna structure designed to distribute consistent harmonic output evenly within a 3-meter or 10-foot diameter. So because it's a personal protector, it is designed to actually create a much more stable coverage a harmonic bubble than the previous one, because it is a mobile unit. So this new emGuard is an upgraded model. All right, but the core technology that it uses is still the same as the first gen, but the way it creates the coverage bubble has been upgraded in order for us to travel everywhere with it. All right, and number 3 is the power management system, optimized energy regulation, enabling stable 24/7 battery operated powered operation with a low internal EF emission, designed for close body use. Because this is going to be close body, you're going to put it anywhere. You put it in your pocket, you want to put it in your handbags, and you can actually do that. All right, and the new emGuard features all the certifications that is relevant, like the CE, FCC, and the new certificate that this product has is also the SGS Canada and USA. That's why the Enagic actually launched this in the USA as well. And David will go in depth onto what these products or what these certificates are. But I just want to go through in a brief terms, and I want to show you guys how the emGuard actually works in practical real life terms, and also how does the EMD 100 works as well. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax. We have actually created a very nice video that will be published very, very soon with the full version. And we have a abridged version to be shared and shown to you guys on the Zoom here this afternoon. So have a look.
We're living in one of the most connected times in history. Everything around us is getting smarter. AI, smart homes, devices that are always on. Life has become much faster, more convenient, more connected. But while all this progress is happening, there's something else quietly growing around us. It's invisible, it's silent, and it's everywhere. Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to my living space. My name is Simon Low, and today we're actually going to do a tour to find out exactly how much electro smoke I'm exposed to in my living environment. So let's go. Now the question is, how can we begin to understand something that we can't even see? Well, we start by measuring it. This is the EMD 100. It measures and detects electro smoke levels coming from the devices that we use every single day. And what it reveals might just surprise you. Now the EMD 100 uses a proprietary scale called the AEI, which stands for Ambient Electro Smoke Index. Think of it like a simple visual guide, from green to yellow, orange, and red zones. Each color shows a different level of electro smoke in your environment. And once you see it, you start to realize how much pollution is actually around you, even in a peaceful looking environment like this. Now watch this. As everyday devices get switched on and operate, the detector begins to respond. What was once invisible now becomes measurable. So I'm not imagining it. These pollutions are real, and I am absorbing a lot of it. And so are you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is there no way out? Is it game over? Or is there light at the end of the tunnel? Let's talk about what you can do today to start protecting yourself and your family. Introducing the emGuard, a portable, harmonic technology device designed for the world that we live in today. With a touch of just one button, emGuard works by suppressing and harmonizing complex electromagnetic environments all around you. Now let's take a look at what happens in real time. Without emGuard, you can clearly see that the AEI levels from the EMD 100 is very high. On my laptop, on my tablet, and on my smartphone. Now, we turn on the emGuard and watch closely. The moment the emGuard is turned on, the harmonic indicator has turned from a red to green. This shows when emGuard is active, the environment becomes more harmonized. And the AEI levels have also dropped to a green zone. And that makes emGuard one of the most powerful personal protectors that you can have.
Let me go into the next part. And I think for this, I want to showcase that we're very proud to announce that. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Type 1 if you guys can hear me. Okay, the video will be shared with you guys. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. Type 1 if you guys can hear me. Okay, so I think once we turn on the video, everything just starts to lag. Okay, now this is a very exciting announcement that the emGuard, for those of you who are in Malaysia, you guys will know this, has recently gone through a real human testing in the University of Tunku Abdul Rahman in Kampar, in Perak, in Malaysia. And it was actually administered by the Faculty of Science to look at how it has the positive impact on the human body just very, very recently. And I'm going to, once again, allow David to do more in-depth analysis to this, but I have a summarized version of the results, and it was just incredible because after the result done on the participants in the university, there is actually a 50.7% reduction in blood cell aggregation, which is the rouleau formation that Dr. Magda talked about, after using the emGuardeGo. 50.7% reduction in blood cell aggregation. Is that amazing? If it is, type 1 in the chat box. So you're talking about more than half, all right? More than half reduction in blood cell aggregation. That's number one, okay? Take a look at number two. Number two is 70.3% of EHS users. Well, what is EHS? EHS means people that are suffering from electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome. People that can detect radiation more. People who are affected by electromagnetic radiation more. Okay? 70.3% has shown improvement. Reduced symptoms linked to electromagnetic exposure. If that is amazing, type 1 in chat box again. So that's number two. Number three, 59.5% showed increased serotonin levels. Can somebody tell me what is a serotonin? I think a lot of us, we know that since we're in Enagic. It is a particular hormone that helps us to have good sleep and rest at night. All right. It is a hormone designed to regulate our mood, sleep, appetite, and cognitive function. And almost 60% showed an increase in serotonin levels. And lastly, 42.7% reduction. And all this percentage is in the mean level. 42.7% reduction in heat shock protein. Now, what is heat shock protein? It is a type of a biological response to physiological stress, such as heat, oxidative stress, or environmental stimuli. Okay, so this is the type of protein that the body excretes when it's in certain stressful environments, and really good. This is really good. All right. So if this is amazing, don't type one, type amazing in the chat box, because now this has been tested by one of the top universities in Malaysia on exactly how it helps its users. It's super cool, if you ask me, right? So this is going to be really good. And how you guys can really break through on this product is to carry it everywhere you go with your Kangen bottle, and it's going to be such a great conversation starter. And before